First, postal deliveries are facing chaos in the run-up to Christmas after workers at Royal Mail voted overwhelmingly in favour of a nationwide strike in a dispute over pay and conditions.
The move looks set to cause massive disruption for thousands of businesses and households in this region, with warnings that the action could lead to huge backlogs at sorting offices. Well, our correspondent Neil Bradford joins us now from Luton. Neil.
Yes, of course, like all things in life, there are winners and losers. And the winners, if this strike goes ahead, will be courier firms like this one that have already snatched major contracts away from Royal Mail. The losers, I'm afraid, will be you and I, the personal customer. But those who stand to lose the most in our region are, of course, businesses both big and small.
Today, postal workers voted for more of this. But this time, strike action won't be on a local level like this one in Northamptonshire in August. It will be nationwide. Members of the Communication Workers Union voted 3-1 in favour of striking as it struggles to settle differences on the best way to modernise the postal service.
Obviously, we're pleased that we've got the yes vote. Obviously, we don't want to take industrial action. That's the last thing we want to do is lose money. But it's got to a point, this is the only opportunity that our members have got now to show their strength of feeling about what Royal Mail's trying to do to their working day.
These customers aren't pleased with the prospect of disruption.
I don't think it's a good idea to go on strike. I think they should discuss things and wait a bit longer and try and sort things out.
Yes and no. I mean, they've got a right to, go on strike, and what they're standing up for is a good thing, but it does affect, obviously, the businesses, homes, things like that. So, yeah, I think they've got a good reason to.
I think they should still talk it all over with the union and take, better steps to resolve the situation. At the end of the day, the workers are going to lose a lot of time and money, and, it's quite a big hassle to strike.
News of the strike is a blow to thousands of businesses across the region, like the Cording Allen Partnership in Bedford. The architecture and planning consultants provide detailed hand-drawn designs, which are then sent by post to their clients. But as a small firm, they're also concerned about the impact on cash flow, as most of their customers pay by cheques through the post. According to the Federation of Small Businesses, they're not alone.
It's not just a case of letters, it's a case of parcels and packets. And small businesses find it very hard to find an alternative to the normal postal system. So I can't really overemphasise what impact that will have on our members.
And it's not just small businesses who'll be hit. Amazon is one of Royal Mail's biggest customers, handling all its first-class post from its distribution centre near Milton Keynes.
Amazon says it hasn't cancelled any contracts with Royal Mail, but is looking at contingency plans to ensure its business isn't disrupted.
One leading economist says the timing of the strike action is surprising.
We're in the middle of a recession, just coming out of it. Rather strange that a major union in the public sector would now call a strike, but perhaps this is a pre-election flexing of the muscles. Let's wait and see.
The CWU says it will try to reach an agreement with Royal Mail in the next 10 days. But if it can't, then the national walkout will go ahead.
Neil Bradford's report there. Now, the Labour Party's Deputy Leader Harriet Harman has visited the Vauxhall factory in Luton today as talks continue with the plant's new owners.
She met workers and union leaders who wanted to hear reassurances about the safety of their jobs. But her visit to the town began with a tour of a local school. Kate Prout reports.
Hard hat and boots are the order of the day for the Deputy Labour Party leader. But it's not political battering Harriet Harman is being protected from. Building work here at Luton Sixth Form College's new £56 million development isn't due to finish until well into next year. Then it's on to the main focus of her visit, along with local MP Kelvin Hopkins, to reassure a weary and worried Vauxhall workforce that their jobs are safe.
I think that we regard our manufacturing base as very important indeed. We regard the automotive industry as very important indeed. This is important not just for this area but nationally, so we will be straining every sinew, working in every way we possibly can, which is what our lead ministers on this, which is Lord Peter Mandelson and Pat McFadden, are doing right now. So I think it's very much at the centre of our concerns.
Vauxhall employs 2,000 staff at its headquarters and at the van factory here. General Motors recently sold Vauxhall to Canadian car parts maker Magna, based in Germany.
It's putting Luton in it's how important this plant is.
and keeping manufacturing within Luton. It's been here 105 years, not just the plant, you had the car plant. Vauxhall has been here 105 years, and it's letting making everyone aware how important it is to the community and the surrounding areas.
It's the second high-profile visit to Vauxhall in 4 weeks. Last month, Business Secretary Lord Mandelson talked to workers at the plant and maintained he was upbeat about the future of Vauxhall's workers in Luton, despite the sale. But a report leaked from Germany 2 weeks ago indicated that Magna are prepared to make 20% of its UK workforce redundant. Added to that, allegations that the German Chancellor illegally gave Magna £3 billion worth of funding, and the implications and repercussions for the workforce here are clear. High-profile visits are all very well, but what Vauxhall workers need is answers. Kate Prout, Anglia News, Luton.
Now, despite the wettest July on record, more of us decided to holiday at home this year. But just where were the best places to visit?
Well, according to a new survey, this region has some of the best and least popular destinations in the whole country.
I can't believe that's true, but apparently it is. So we sent Sasha Williams to find out where's hot and where's not. She joins us now from Southwold. Sasha, it looks like a gorgeous evening there.
Yeah, maybe not hot, but certainly gorgeous. And you think, therefore, it would be the perfect holiday destination. But if this new survey is to be believed, well, you'd be wrong. So, you know, this new survey took a look at 66 different destinations, and it took into consideration the cleanliness of the beaches, the availability and cost of the local hotels and restaurants, and, among other things, the weather. Now, Bournemouth in Dorset came out on top, but there was quite a surprise in this part of the world.
It remains one of the most popular seaside destinations in the region. Quintessentially English, without a kiss-me-quick hat in sight. But if a new survey is to be believed, this is one of the least holiday-friendly resorts in the country. On the list of 66 destinations, Bournemouth in Dorset came out on top, while Loch Ness was rated the worst in the country, partly because of the weather. Skegness, Cromer and Clacton were commended for their beaches. But it wasn't such good news for Southwold. Researchers put it in their bottom 5. But despite the low ranking, the town's tourism manager doesn't seem to be too worried.
I'd say that's a very strange piece of research and conflicting against lots of other data that we get across the country during the average year. It seems to sort of suggest that if you're not able to book accommodation, that makes you a bad destination. Therefore, if they're obviously looking around, they're ringing up guest houses, bed and breakfast, contacting the Tourist Information Centre, and they can't secure accommodation. Well, isn't that because lots of people like to come here, perhaps? So again, the fun element of a piece of data. But it's raising the profile of Southwold, and I think people that understand will look beyond that.
While Southwold might have lost some of their points for the cost of a night's accommodation, at the other end of the spectrum, Clacton-on-Sea in Essex was named the cheapest place in the UK you can visit on holiday. But is it a label they actually want to have?
People might view cheap as being poor quality. That's not certainly the case. People have really requested holiday guides in numbers far more than we've ever experienced, which shows that Clacton and other areas within Tendring District are really valued by people who visit.
Back in Southwold, visitors to the seafront today were only too happy to rubbish the report.
It was in the top 10, I would have thought. Southwold was very nice.
I'd say number 1.
What is it you like about Southwold?
Well, it's unspoiled. Yeah, just left to be as it is.
And we were surprised today at the amount of people that are here today. I mean, it's October now. I'm walking along the promenade and everything. That's unbelievable, really.
I'm here with my niece today, and the beach is just fantastic for kids. It's really clean. I've been letting her swim around and all that, and the food's great as well on the pier. And I've been to places like Blackpool and Bournemouth before, and they're quite tacky, really. So what you've just said about the listing's quite a surprise, really.
In fact, it seems most people we spoke to today said you'd have to be barking mad to believe that Southwold could be anything less than the perfect destination.
Indeed. So, Sasha, including that chap who gave us a little wave behind you earlier, they don't sound too upset in Southwold this evening.
Not at all. I mean, they're taking this with a very large pinch of salt, and they're actually looking at the bigger picture, which is this survey was actually commissioned because of the number of staycations we're taking this year. The number of us taking holidays here in the UK has gone up 14% this year, and it's not just here by the coast either. The Broads Authority have reported a bumper year. They're saying they've got more boats on the Broads than ever before. All the campsites are fully booked in the peak season, and one provider of self-catering accommodation in the region has actually already said that bookings for next year, 2010, are actually already up by 61%. So yes, they're willing to put the survey to one side and look at the fact that people are actually coming to places like Southwold for these surveys to actually be in existence.
And looking at the weather this evening, you can see absolutely why. Sasha, thank you very much indeed for that.
An Essex man who sexually abused his daughter for more than 3 decades and fathered 2 children by her has been jailed for 12 years. The 68-year-old man, who's from Harlow but cannot be identified for legal reasons, was described as depraved and wicked by a judge at Chelmsford Crown Court. He had admitted offences including rape, incest and indecent assault. The woman, who's now 45, was in court to see her father jailed.